Today we're taking a look at these NBA matches, which are happening on Wednesday, November 2nd, 2022, and giving you our match breakdowns, betting tips and predictions in general on these games. Welcome back to High Stakes, let's get straight into it. Also, don't forget to subscribe and push that notification bell to get notified as soon as we release these sport prediction videos, and if you would like more betting tips and predictions, then check out our Patreon in the link down below. Our new Patreon is a way for us to help you improve your chances of making more money. Multiple plans are available for each and every one of you. By becoming a member of the High Stakes Patreon, you will have access to our best team picks, total picks, parlay picks and much more. Stop wasting hours of your time searching for bad betting predictions that ends up costing you a lot of time and money. Join the High Stakes Patreon now and get the best betting picks. Dallas Mavericks vs Utah Jazz. The Utah Jazz were expected to be one of the worst teams in the NBA after trading Donovan Mitchell and Rudy Gobert. The Jazz gutted their roster after last year, getting rid of most of the team's core players, including Joe Ingles and Bogdan Bogdanovic. The Jazz have played hard, and they come into this game at 5-2 after beating the Grizzlies by 1 point in their last victory. Memphis was without Morant, but the Grizzlies have played well without their star guard. The Mavericks came into this season with big expectations after getting to the conference finals last year, but Dallas has been inconsistent so far early in the year. Luka usually plays himself into shape during the season, but Doncic has been in good shape to start the year so far. The Mavericks have still struggled. Dallas is 3-3 with unimpressive wins over Orlando, a struggling Brooklyn team, and a Memphis team that was without Dillon Brooks or Jalen Jackson. Dallas was a very good defensive team last year, and the Mavericks' strong defense was the primary reason the team was able to make a surprising run to the conference finals. Dallas has been inconsistent this season, and the Mavericks' defense has also been weaker. Dallas has new players this year such as Christian Wood, and Tim Hardaway Jr. is healthy again. Wood has played well, but not all of Dallas's new rotation players are performing well on defense. Luka is playing very well, but Dallas doesn't have a second all-star on their lineup, and the Mavericks will need to improve defensively if this team wants to perform as well as they did last year in a Western Conference that is stronger this season. Utah is playing great, and the team seems to enjoy playing together. The Jazz have low expectation after gutting their roster, and the team still has the strong culture and system that Snyder instilled before leaving after last year. The Jazz are the team in stronger form right now. Take the Jazz for the win. Luka Doncic predictably leads Dallas in scoring, averaging 35.2 points per game. Luka also leads the team in rebounds and assists, averaging 10.8 rebounds and 9.8 assists per game. Free agent acquisition Christian Wood has also been good for Dallas this year, averaging 19 points per game. Dallas hasn't been as good defensively as this team was last year, giving up 111 points or more in 3 of their first 6 games. Both these teams are playing well offensively, and neither team's defense has been consistent so far this season. The Mavericks were very good defensively over the second half of the season and in the playoffs, but Dallas is a different team this year. Utah and Dallas are also both playing at a fast pace. Utah has also at times been inconsistent defensively, and some of the Jazz's key rotation players such as Clarkson and Markkanen are bad defensive players. Utah has given up 120 points or more in 3 of their first 7 games so far this season. This should be a higher scoring game. Take the over. Portland Trail Blazers vs Memphis Grizzlies. The injury-depleted Grizzlies have been inconsistent since the start of the season. Without Jaren Jackson Jr. and Brandon Clark, their frontcourt is very thin and will struggle to cope with Jusuf Nurkic in the paint. Anthony Simons is a true leader in Damian Lillard's absence, so I'm expecting the Trailblazers to extend their good run of form. If Desmond Bane doesn't suit up, Portland's defense will focus on Ja Morant, who'll have to carry the Grizzlies on his back. The Trailblazers are 4-1 and ATS in their previous 5 encounters with the Grizzlies. Portland has covered in 5 straight meetings with the Western Conference, while Memphis is 1-4 ATS in its last 6 games against its conference rivals. Take the Portland Trailblazers ATS. The Grizzlies feature strong guard play and a relatively high success rate from behind the arc. The team leader in scoring is point guard Ja Morant. He is averaging 33.3 points per game and shooting 56% from downtown. Secondly, on the team, is shooting guard Desmond Bane. He is good for 24.2 per game. Bane is shooting 44.6% from behind the arc, which is a higher percentage than his overall field goal percentage of 44.1. Furthermore, he is achieving this on 9.3 attempts per game. Shooting forward Dylan Brooke, who is scoring 16 points per game, is also a sharpshooter from behind the arc, having a 40% success rate. Teams better have strong perimeter defense when they take on the Grizzlies. It's been a stellar start to the season for the Portland Trail Blazers, winning 5 of their first 6 games. They've come out of the gate averaging 115.3 points per game, while allowing 110.5. Recently, they defeated the lowly Houston Rockets where they scored 125. Their highest scoring game this season was against the Denver Nuggets, dropping in 135, which is 20 points over their average. Point guard Damian Lillard leads the way with 31 points per game and 4.6 assists. Unfortunately, Lillard has suffered a calf strain and will miss a week or two. It is possible that he'll return on the next road trip, according to David McKay from the Blazers Edge. Looking at the total of this game, the book did a good job of setting the number based on analytics. Taking the adjusted offensive rating from dunksandthrees.com and adding them together gets this total exactly. Portland is 114.3 and Memphis is 115.9. Together that is 230.2, right on the number. Take into consideration also that Portland's pace, or number of possessions per 48 minutes, is a lower 98.7, again according to dunksandthrees.com, and you see the value coming in under the number. This is especially due to the fact that Portland is at home and will be looking to control a slower tempo. Furthermore, as previously mentioned, the Trailblazers will be missing their number 1 scorer in Damian Lillard, and Memphis is banged up with many players listed day to day. It is a good spot here to take under the total. Los Angeles Lakers vs New Orleans Pelicans. If Anthony Davis sits out Wednesday's game, the Pelicans will dominate in the paint. New Orleans ranks 7th in the league in offensive rebounds, 12.5 per 100 possessions, and 3rd in assists, 27.8, so I'm expecting the Pelicans to control the game and cover a 3.5-point spread. Without Davis, the Lakers' frontcourt is thin and will struggle to contain Zion Williamson and Jonas Valanciunas. If Davis suits up, we should see a tight battle for all 48 minutes. Last season, the Pels went 3-0 SU and ATS against the Lakers. New Orleans is 3-1 SU and ATS on the road this time around, and the Pelicans have gone 6-0 SU and 5-1 ATS in their previous 6 showings as favorites away from home. Take the New Orleans Pelicans minus 3.5 points. Los Angeles finally gathered their first victory of the year with a 121-110 home win over the Denver Nuggets on Sunday evening. LeBron James scored 26 points and Anthony Davis added 23 to give first-year head coach Darvin Ham his first win. Ham rejoiced in the locker room with his team and received a celebratory dousing of water. "We needed to prove something to ourselves," Ham said. "Not to the world, not the media. We had to prove it to ourselves. I feel great about how we responded throughout the game." Russell Westbrook came off the bench again and drove the lane and scored on a layup to extend the Lakers' lead to 117-106 in the final minutes as the Lakers closed out the win. He has been accepting of his new role, and the Lakers need some type of punch off their bench. He finished the game with an efficient 18 points. The Lakers made 13 three-pointers on 13 for 30 shooting after struggling mightily with the 3 this season in their previous 5 games. Westbrook has been much maligned during his tenure with the Lakers, but this was a small step toward his former self. The Pelicans are shooting just under 49% from the field through their first 6 games, good for second in the NBA. That goes along with 118 points per game. Zion and Jonas on the inside contribute to that in a big way, but it has been their work from the three-point line that has dazzled. New Orleans will get whatever they want in this game, but the same will not go for the home team. Los Angeles will have problems scoring inside with Anthony Davis going up against Zion and Jonas, although he is still an elite player, is not the same electric AD from his time with the Pelicans. Los Angeles finally gathered their first victory of the year with a 121-110 home win over the Denver Nuggets on Sunday evening. But the losing will continue for LA in this tough game against New Orleans, and for that reason, I like this game to go under.